Greetings to you. My name is Kenisha. I do go also by the moniker SurvivorWhisperer. This was given to me from several friends and also clients who just insisted that anywhere I go, I have people who want to talk, want to engage, and generally they want to share and be encouraged about the abuse and trauma that they've gone through. So instead of running from it, I decided about 6, 7 years ago to work with that and to hopefully, mindfully, and often prayerfully show up and make sure that I'm present without forcing my presence upon anyone. So who I am is a creative encourager whose main calling and purpose in life is to focus on peace, life prosperity, and awareness in artfully uplifting ways. I believe in a positivity and a power of positivity as an action and a way of being. And many see positivity as something that's fluffy and just happy. I don't see positive only in that way. Positive and positivity to me is an affirmation, constructive, confidently optimistic outlook and or approach and attitude, thought and deed. I do believe how you direct your day always goes back to where your mind and your heart are. So this is a little bit about who I am. I am a writer. I am a community wellness facilitator. And I also am a survivor from abuse trauma. And I work as a life story and abuse trauma recovery coach. So those are just little things about me. I really do believe that healing is possible and we don't have to live in the pains of our past. And I don't think we're supposed to live in the pains of our past. But that doesn't mean we're not supposed to recognize the pains of our past. And that helps us to move forward from those pains. So here we go. HeART Matterings is a VOD and podcast that's intentional on focusing on awareness, betterment, compassionate accountability, and delving into matters of the heart in this space of Grace Corner. My intention is to artfully engage and connect with these brave and safe space conversations. The art of connection, the art of conversation with various art genres, history, and life art will be some of the ways we do this in this VOD podcast system. I look forward to sharing, learning, and applying with you. See you soon. So about 3 years ago, closer to 4, so let's just break it even and say about 3.5 years ago, I was walking in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and my school, Lesley University, woo woo, is there. And I was walking by some flowers, and I got so angry when I passed sunflowers. And that's not really a normal reaction, or it's not a normal reaction for me. There are very few things that bring up such a huge response as I had. I was shaking and I just felt hot, and my ears, even though I am a person of color, we do change colors and we can have the capabilities, and my ears got really red. And I was like, all right, this has happened before, but not to this degree. I have to make a choice. What in the world would cause me to feel this amount of anger walking past a flower? Seriously, I don't like mosquitoes, and I mean, they don't cause me this amount of anger, so what was happening? And I had to make a choice at that point because I could have kept ignoring it, because really I'm not around sunflowers that often, but I was thinking that I need to address this. And I wasn't really sure, though, what that meant. So when you are on your healing journey, and this is from various types of abuse trauma, it's important to investigate your story. So something could be angering you, and these are commonly known as triggers. What is triggering you? Why is it triggering you? And what are you going to do about it? So because I've been on my own healing journey for quite some time, I knew enough that I was going to delve into my bag of therapeutic tools and tricks. And I call this the ABCD method. And that's A, awareness awakening, B, boldly broaching, C, compassionate accountability, and D, dissemination station. So I have found just in different areas within social services and human services that there is a lot of focus on the pain, but there isn't a lot of focus on pushing forward. And that's not true for all, but it's true for a lot that I've witnessed. And I also find that when you're healing from different types of trauma, that you get caught up in the shame of it. But again, as I mentioned, I've been on my healing journey, and it doesn't mean that I'm perfect by any means. It does mean that I'm conscious of when something comes up and I'm feeling shameful, I have to go into the details of that story. And it's not for me to feel shame. It's for me to understand what's going on so I can work through it. So after going through this process, which was not a day, it wasn't a week, it took some time, I figured out that the sunflower reaction was really a trigger from some things that happened when I was a child. As I mentioned, I am a survivor, and I also go with other language because I have moved beyond survivorship, but I do recognize that it is a part of my story. And this part of my story relates to being abused sexually as a child. And when I was in a room and it was at night, the person who abused me sexually would come into this room. And the only place I could look, were sunflowers that were on the wallpaper in my room. So it took a while to get to that of, all right. And I was having this reaction as an adult because of some things that happened as a child. Now, there are people who will try to shame you and blame you. Oh, what happened when you were a child? It doesn't matter. No, no, no. It does matter. Understand that people who are hurting and people who are ignorant, which is all of us to a degree, but you do have people who are willfully ignorant. They don't know any better. So if they don't know any better, they can't advise you. They can't advise you on how to heal. So it is definitely to your betterment to be able to go towards people who have experience. What I started finding out when I was delving into sunflowers is that they are a pretty magnificent flower. So sunflowers are the Helianthus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and if not, y'all let me know. Helianthus genus, and comprise of about 70 perennial flowering plant species in the daisy family. 70 different types. It's amazing. And it's awesome to me that as I started delving into the healing and the trauma that was related to sunflowers, how much more I started appreciating this flower and how they just started showing up all around me. Sunflowers are thought to be domesticated at least 3,000 years ago by Native Americans who would use them primarily as edible seeds. They were then introduced to Europe in the early 16th century, and they made their way to different countries such as Russia. Domestic sunflower seeds have been found in Mexico dating to about 2100 BC. Sunflowers symbolize many things, including worship and faithfulness in various religions because of their resemblance to the sun. And I thought when I came across that, that was interesting. I know I blamed God for so long about him allowing me to be abused. And through my healing journey, I recognized that it wasn't God who intended for this to happen, but as a result, I am able to gain a deeper purpose from what has happened. And God is awesome in that he didn't intend for me to be abused in these different types of ways, but he has been using it in a way in my life to be able to help others. When I made that connection with sunflowers, it was almost like the petals were giving me a hug. And these flowers are unique in that they have the ability to provide energy in the form of nourishment and vibrancy. These attributes, which mirror the sun and the energy, are known for being happy flowers. It is thought that biotic and abiotic factors can explain for the evolution of flowers. For example, why they may be larger and smaller in different environments. This is dependent on their ecosystem. An ecosystem is comprised of both biotic, meaning living elements of an ecosystem such as plants, animals, fungi, and bacteria, and abiotic factors such as non-living elements, air, soil, water, light, and temperature. These selective pressures, which stem from several biotic and abiotic factors, are associated with habitat environmental conditions, which all play a role in the overall morphology that can contribute to the evolution of the sunflower's traits. Why I think this is interesting is we have so many things going on around us. And a lot of us have grown up and within trauma. And we don't recognize this at times. And then we behave in a way that is, why did I do that? Or why did I think that? But there were environmental factors that led to this. And while it is not your fault that these things happen to you, because make no mistake, abuse is not your fault. Again, abuse is not your fault. How you move forward in your life, that is on you. That is something that you have to, if you so choose, have to be mindful of, because you could not be mindful of it and continue to live in a way that is less than what you deserve, and you deserve so much better. The common sunflower has many beneficial effects, such as protective functions for cellular damage. It also has help for anti-inflammatory activity. It prevents gastric damages and is a therapeutic alternative in the healing process for microscopical and clinical wounds. This is hugely interesting to me in that healing has a varied road. But in order to approach and actually take part of healing, you have to do just that. You have to take part in it. It is not going to necessarily seek you down. You have to be an active agent on your healing journey and making effort. So I'm sharing pictures, and I hope that you get to see some of the beauty that I have come across of sunflowers, and know that you are so much more than your pain. You are purposed to do more, be more, and you are a light. You are a light unto this world, and yes, you may have been hurt, but know that you are here for better. Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in every way and may keep well, even as your soul keeps well and prospers. Heart Matterings, I hope you had a good time with us and getting into the sunflower art and biology and well-being portion of today's episode. Be well, live well, do well. Survivor Whisperer wishes you a great day.